In this video, I'm going to show you how to use motion path animations, entrance animations, and exit animations. First thing we're going to do is move this frog over here to this lily pad. So I'm going to select my frog, go to my animations tab, and choose a motion path using lines. I wanted it to go to the lily pad and it didn't, so I got to go down here and grab this little red dot and drag it on over there. The next thing I'm going to do is add a text box in here. So I need to go to Insert, Text Box, and draw a text box right here. I'm going to add some text. Now that I have my text box in here, I want to format that text box, so add some color characteristics to it. So I'm going to, with the text box selected, I can go to the Format tab. I like to use just the shape styles. There's other ways to do it, but I think this is just the easiest way to add some quick color. I'm going to go to the Home tab. I like to center my text in here. Now I'm going to add an entrance animation to this. So I'm going to go to my Animations tab and click my drop down arrow again. And these are the green ones are all entrance animations. I'm going to choose bounce since I'm working with a frog. And now I actually want this text box to leave my presentation as well. If I preview this, the frog moves and the text box comes in, but I want it to immediately leave my presentation as well. So I'm going to add another animation to it. So I'm going to select it. And to add a second animation to anything, you have to choose Add Animation. All the same animations are there. I just want to choose an exit this time, and I'm just going to fly out. So I have one animation here, and a second and third animation here, and if I turn on my animation pane, you'll see those lined up right there. The next thing I want to do is I want my frog to move from lily pad 1 to lily pad 2, and I want it to go through this green dot. So I'm going to select my frog, Add Animation, remember it already has an animation on it, and choose a custom path. On this one I want to use straight lines, so I'm going to click one time, let go of my mouse button, click on the green dot, let go of my mouse button, and double click to end my path at lily pad 2. Now notice that my frog went behind my lily pad. Well, I'm going to select my frog, go to Format, and I'm going to bring forward and bring it to the front. And now when I preview this, you'll see that the frog actually goes on the front of the lily pad where I want it to be. Okay, so now the next thing I need to do is add another text box, but I'm not going to create a new one. I already have one here. I'm going to just select this one, right click, copy, and paste. Use this first paste option, not this one, and then move that up there by lily pad 2, and I'm going to go ahead and format it and change it to a different color, and then I can change my made it to lily pad lane for lunch. Okay, so I have an entrance animation on both these. Because I copied and pasted this, you see that in my animation pane, I already have a 5th and 6th animation. Those are an entrance and an exit. So when I preview this already, my animations tab and preview, you'll see that it does exactly what I wanted it to do. Now my text box comes in and leaves. All right, so now I want my frog to end his journey at lily pad 3, so I'm going to go to Animations, Add Animation again. Remember, 2 animations on it. I don't want to lose those. I'm going to go to Custom Path, and this time I'm going to draw one. I'm going to add some lazy loops in here. And you see my frog moves a little bit too fast, so I'm going to add some duration to that motion path. I'm going to make it about 5, well, let's make it 6, 5.5 seconds. All right, so when I preview that now, you see my frog actually moves quite a bit slower when it goes from lily pad 2 to lily pad 3. Now I want one more text box to come in, so I'm just going to go to the, I can just right click and paste because I've already copied. If I'm doing this on another day, I'd have to copy and paste again, but since I've already done that, I can just paste it. Again, format my text box again to a different color. You don't necessarily have to do that. Home to watch Netflix. Little frog has some favorite shows there, and he's watching some Netflix. And notice again, I have my entrance and exit animation on these, so I don't have to add any. Now, the next thing I want to do is I add a background on here, so I'm just going to go to my Design tab, Format Background, and on this one, I'm going to add a picture texture fill, then change it to water droplets. All right, now the last thing I want to show you before we end this is how to do a rehearse timing, because it makes things a little bit easier for you. I'm just going to do that very quickly. I'm going to go to Slideshow, click right here on Rehearse Timings. Now you can see my timer up here. It's going to run exactly the way I want it to. I'm going to go ahead and click through these pretty quickly though, so that the video won't be too ridiculously long. Alright, now it's going to be a 24-second video. Now if I go from beginning, you can watch the show, and the frog will run exactly the way I did it in my rehearse timings. Some of the biggest problems I see people on this is when you have animation on something, you make sure you go to Add Animation. Don't go to the same place you put your first animation on. That won't work out well for you.